How's it going, everyone? It's Liam Carrison here with another episode of Heartstopper as well, on episode number 6 of Season 3, as we are now within the final few episodes, so yeah, it will be very, very exciting to see how this season will end. It's been a really, really fantastic season, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see, you know, with this episode titled Body. It will be very interesting to see where this is going to go. It might primarily focus on Charlie, potentially, obviously with him and his eating disorder. It's been a pretty prominent theme, so we might delve in a bit deeper to that. But yeah, I mean, last episode, you know, it kind of hit a bit different. I mean, yeah, there was still some emotional aspects to that last episode, but I wouldn't say it was as much as episodes 2 to 4 were, for me, personally. So, yeah, but I mean, it was just really, really, I mean, there was, of course, quite a bit of tension, especially with the Christmas period as well, and certain comments from certain family members directed to Charlie. So yeah, things were a bit tense, but yeah, I mean, it was, you know, really, really great stuff focusing on other characters as well in that last episode. So yes, especially with episode 4 having a big emphasis on the situation with Nick and Charlie. So yeah, but yeah, why don't we get into this episode of Heartstopper? It's episode 6 of season 3. Let's go.
3 bits of progress you've made over the past 4 months. Come on, humour me. You know I like my thought exercises.
Gone from January to April.
Well, how about
the year goes by fast.
You settle back in a school. Does it weigh on you?
Can you just eat half?
I said I can't.
You're not even trying.
You're making me feel like shit. If you're gonna sit there and make me feel insane, just fuck off.
Oh, okay, I was...
Sorry. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, of course
relapses are normal. When they don't
going to take a toll on all of that, but, you know, Charlie doesn't, you know, have any ill will towards this, understandably. It's just going to be very stressful.
But I expect your progress has allowed you to deepen your connection with him. If your intrusive thoughts have lessened, you've got more energy to give to your relationship.
I mean, that's it, though. I mean, we just saw... I mean, you're not prepared to kind of see that, like, given what I guess we are accustomed to in terms of the wholesomeness, I guess-ish. But this whole situation is going to be very, very testing and all of that. And, you know, Charlie's going to say stuff that he, you know, doesn't mean and all of that. And Nick understands that. Like, you just saw, obviously, that heat at the moment, give him that space, and then, like, what, 5 minutes later, just come in with a deep embrace and all of that. So, and, you know, Charlie's recognizing that as well, in terms of, well, he's even just said he's seen me at rock bottom, and he's still here, and it's a testament to be like, you know, he's really, really supporting me. Whereas there are going to be some people who would just run away, and yeah.
Practice your motivational pep talks, or they just come to you in the moment.
No, they just come to me. I'm just a talented person.
Love it.
Yeah, I think we're out of time here, so...
About something. Now, we've had contact from a local radio station about you.
What?
Yeah, they've heard about your social media blowing up and they want to interview you.
Oh.
Local young artist achieves internet
I mean,
fame.
she is getting quite a bit of followers on Insta. How many are we at now? 25k?
But I do want you to...
He's just in his zen. You'll be in more zen. With Nick coming in.
We get to meet him.
Yeah. I love you so much.
Well, clearly not as much as Jack Maddox, but
Oh,
I'll take it.
Yikes.
Also get a birthday kiss. Yeah. He's talking about having sex.
Yeah, I got that. I got that.
I know it's obviously both want
I'm
to,
just like,
and it's
okay.
not like we've done nothing. I mean, it's all been over the clothes, but sometimes when we're making out, we... Please spare us the details.
What? No, I want all the details.
Charlie. I mean, you're gonna have moments of, like, pause and all of that, aren't you? In this journey.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What is in that?
Everything.
Oh my god! Best fucking day ever. It's reminding me of my 30th birthday with the decorations. Worst birthday ever, or something like that. Done in jest, of course. 'Cause I'm old.
I found him at a charity shop and he just had your energy, so I figured he belonged with you.
Love it.
Also, it made me sad seeing him sitting on a shelf on his own, so, okay, bye everyone, have a fun time!
Oh my god, I love him.
I've been doing a lot of thinking and reflecting recently. I have no idea who I am.
Oh.
I don't really know much about anything at the moment, actually. Awful together, right? Yeah, I know.
There's because it's still figuring.
I like us better as friends.
That's it though, it's still figuring.
We're getting crazy drunk now.
Like dark academia vibes.
Yeah, totally.
No, I'm thinking of doing like business.
My
or
dark
politics.
academia.
Tara, what about you?
I don't know.
Nick?
I'll probably just attack.
It's okay, my therapist gave me some exercises to help clear my brain
Oh, Charlie.
whenever I'm having thoughts that I can't control. So let's do some deep breaths together. Breathe in for 3.
From someone who struggled and now he's helping someone who is struggling. This is really, really beautiful stuff.
Just stressed about everything right now. Charlie was helping. I'm fine. I'll be fine.
Oh, but that was absolutely massive for Charlie.
Do things.
Let's not.
What kind of things?
Let's not, in this state.
We can have sex.
Let's not.
Then you might just
Oh.
now you look at me and I think
Oh yeah.
Need to clear up before going to see that historian you're obsessed with.
I could make egg on toast. Feel like you guys need the egg on toast.
I love him. Again, we haven't seen him for 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, I can have friends over too.
Friends.
friends.
Friends. Emphasis on friends. She's not having it.
You ready to meet the love of your life?
you're so jealous right now. I'm allowed to request from a celebrity.
I can't believe I'm about to be replaced.
Oh my god.
Post my art to my social media, just wanting to share it with my friends and family. But it just started to get more and more likes, and now I have over 50,000 followers.
50,000! Holy
Is the attention
shit.
at all overwhelming?
Maybe a bit.
I guess it should have, January to April, expected more.
It's that in the art that I create.
And that's so important right now, isn't it?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
With
Trans people aren't a debate. We're human beings.
Exactly!
Well, I mean,
What the shit?
our speaker last week believed that the presence of gender-neutral bathrooms will increase
Drop
cases of
the-
sexual assault against women. I'm very interested to get your thoughts about the potential new law, which could come in as soon as...
I think I need to go.
I'm sorry if I offended you.
No, you're not.
This is not what we agreed.
You're another
It is
wanker who
inappropriate.
uses sorry as a plaster. It means nothing.
It's okay, baby. Come on.
Come on, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go home.
You'll be hearing from me.
Get him. Get him. Oh, Tao. That was uncalled for. That was bullshit. She absolutely... They absolutely manipulated her.
Because I have just finished reading the most enthralling book last week while I was in Milan.
See, when it was like Karen Gillan at Aberdeen Comic Con, I couldn't. I'm terrible with questions anyways, but Karen Gillan. Thankfully, my bestie compensated in terms of asking.
You're very welcome.
Nice to meet you. Really nice to meet you. Should we? Yeah, nice to meet you. Sorry. Hello.
Oh. Wait.
It's really hot.
There you go. He's like, thank you. Charlie's like, thank you. You see the vision?
We should stop. No, wait.
Yeah, we should definitely
Charlie.
Yeah. I like you so much. I love you.
There you go. Just
I want you.
There you go.
I really did want to carry on.
This isn't disgusting.
I know, and I don't actually think I do look disgusting. And
But
I know
it's
that
just
Nick
that
won't
little
think
voice,
either.
isn't it?
I love him, and he loves me.
It's that anxiety. And
I just don't understand why I get so anxious about it.
We've talked about
Understandable.
how you get angry. Aren't you the one who confessed your feelings to Nick first, when you didn't even know whether he liked you back?
It's just that we don't usually think, do we, like in terms of
Don't feel confident.
It's just a
there you
challenge
go.
you're going to have to face.
It's understandable that you're not going to think that, I guess, you're not Jack Maddox, and you might feel like that's that's going to kind of put a bit of a dent in your confidence and all of that. Especially with what, you know, Charlie has, well, not just gone through, but is currently going, because, like, this is not a thing that is getting glossed over, which is great. This is something that is still ongoing, but we are seeing progression, but there are going to be those moments, like when Charlie and Nick were getting intimate, and you had that, like, of course, dark shroud. It's just that there's just going to be that little voice in the back of your mind. I mean, even Charlie said it in therapy, where he was like, I don't, you know, think this and I don't think that, but there is that, like, little voice, isn't there? So, and that anxious, like, side of you is going to be a real pain in the backside, isn't it? Because as Charlie's, you know, post that intimacy scene, he's like, you know, it is like you can see that kind of frustration, not in, you know, anger and all of that, but more so of annoyance. Like, you know, why are you cropping up? I don't feel like these things and all of that. Like, deep down, I do want to get intimate, and you're just being an annoying, you know, that voice in the back of his head. So, but it's that marathon, not a sprint, I guess, saying, isn't it? So, and we're seeing these, you know, small steps where, you know, you're still going to face obstacles, but it is great to see certain bits of progression. And I'm feeling like you could definitely see it in terms of, you know, obviously that anxiousness way back in episode 4. I would say there is quite a bit of confidence between Jeff and Charlie in terms of discussing, like, even at the beginning of the episode and all of that, the banter there and all of that. But even, you know, ending this episode, where Charlie's just speaking confidently about, you know, how he doesn't feel like he doesn't want to go through with. He knows he wants to go through with this. It's just that there is that moment of pause. So. And he's not saying that out of, like, worry or anything like that. He's just, it's more so kind of annoyance, isn't it, in terms of, like, yeah. So, I mean, it is great to see the, you know, progression and all of that. But understandably, Charlie is gonna, you know, have these worries and all of that. And it is great that Nick is gonna reassure him in regards to, the fact that, well, he likes Charlie infinitely more, despite the hotness and all of that of with Jack Maddox. It's as it's like what was said. You're allowed to have those celebrity crushes. It means now. It means nada. So no, but it was really, really great stuff. Frustrating for Elle, though. I mean, I am glad that her parents were ready to go to war, because I would have as well. That was just really, really disgusting. Because that's it, though. We want to talk about your art and all of that, but it was like the random food in the middle of the forest kind of trope, I guess. Like, it's so delicious and all of that, and you're just gonna go for it, and then obviously you fall into the trap, because that's what they did. They trapped her. They bullshitted her, and they manipulated things in regards to, oh yeah, we want to talk about your art, but deep down they wanted to talk about the situation with Elle and her being transgender, and yeah. And really, Elle, like, if Elle wanted to bring that up, then yeah. But they had no right. Like, the interviewer had no right to. And the thing is, though, there was that moment, oh, we should, talk about something more, comforting and all of that. And then she didn't even stop. So yeah, some good stuff with this episode. Infuriating at certain points, but yeah, I mean, it was just really, really great stuff, focusing on Charlie's story and contending with certain situations where, whether it's facing his own issues or helping out Tara, for example. I really, really loved that scene so much, because whilst there is no we're not, of course, ignoring Charlie's own story and all of that, it doesn't mean that he can't help out others, right? And he knows that Tara is going through a bit of a panic. Because at the end of the day, obviously, his friends are facing certain issues themselves. So, and because Charlie has been, at the forefront of dealing with certain panics and all of that, he was able to try to help out others. And that really, really is a great way of showing, how much heart Charlie does have. Yeah. He is having his own issues, and that's still ongoing. And yet, he sees one of his friends just go into a complete state of shock, and he's just coaching these breathing exercises to Tara in order to assure her. So, yeah. So it was just really, really beautiful stuff to see. And, yeah. I just really, really, I just felt like that scene was very powerful. Just like I said, to exemplify that whilst Charlie is going through his own issues and all of that, as we, of course, later throughout the episode as well, saw, especially with him contending with, his struggles in terms of his physical appearance, and there was even a precedence of that at his birthday party. He's still able to help out someone who is struggling and all of that, because it's not just Charlie who, of course, out of his circle, that is going through a bit of a crisis at the minute. So, yeah, but I just really, really felt like it was a very, very great episode to focus on certain fears that Charlie is trying to contend with. So, I mean, even at his party, and he was wanting to go through with sex with Nick and all of that. obviously it's a bit of it's a big no-no, isn't it? And respect for Nick for not wanting to take advantage, because he knew Charlie was drunk and all of that. But you don't want your first time to, oh yeah, our first time was when you were drunk and all of that, because but also just in general, you don't do that anyway. So that's why, like, when Charlie prompted the idea, I'm like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm all for you guys to get intimate, but not in this scenario. So yeah. But you know, there was a push of confidence and all of that, and I mean, that sometimes can be the case when it comes to alcohol, isn't it, and whatnot. The anxiety is just pushed aside. So yeah, but I mean, there is still meaning, of course, because you know, Charlie does want things to progress with Nick, but at the same time, there is just, of course, that fear in the back of his mind. So, and whilst we're dealing with, of course, the anorexia, there is a physical and mental, you know, I would say battle going on for Charlie, because that anxiety is gonna take at the forefront, like it did towards the end part of the episode, and it was just really, really great to see him talk it down with his therapist. And there was just that moment where you could just reflect on that anxiety that happened. I don't know, you know, the difference, the time difference between, you know, that scene with Charlie and Nick about, you know, they were trying to get intimate, and Charlie just felt that surge, of course, and you know, the therapy session. But you do look back at that moment and just think, well, I do want to do this. It's just that voice in the back of my mind that's just being aggravating. You know, in that heat of the moment, of course, it takes control. But when you're like, you know, talking to Jeff and all of that, you just think back and be like, I just, you know, wish it would just bugger off for like 2 seconds, right? So, which is normal to think about, really. So, but of course, you're going to deal with small steps, in terms of, you know, progression, not just in terms of, you know, the eating disorder, of course, but also with the anxiety as well. So, and Jeff, you know, is I would say on the money in regards to that anxiety and all of that, and how there is that like attachment to control, and there is a bit of hesitancy when it comes to Charlie trying to let go. So, and obviously that can be fundamental when it comes, because otherwise it's just like pumping the brakes, isn't it? It's just like, yeah, if you are not like, if you don't have that weight on your shoulder and all of that, then it's all well and good. But he just feels like a constant pressure, isn't there? And there is going to be that difficulty of letting go of control. And yeah, so but I mean, like I said, it was just really, really great to focus on Charlie's story in this episode. Because of course things are like there are signs of progression, and we're seeing that really, really neatly, especially as of these last couple of episodes. Because obviously with episode 4 we saw Nick and Charlie's story, then episode 5, it wasn't removed from any kind of obstacles that Charlie was facing. But we were seeing bits of progression, and we were seeing that again in this episode. But we're also still acknowledging the fact that there are still going to be certain difficulties that Charlie's going to try and struggle with. So, yeah, but it was just really, really great stuff. And I also loved the other little bits and pieces as well, like Imogen as well, and Sarah was like, they were just wanting to keep things low key at the minute, whilst Imogen is trying to figure out certain things in regards to her sexuality, from being an ally to someone who's trying to figure things out, which is okay and all of that, because at the end of the day, I don't want to keep bringing this up, but marathon, not a sprint. You can't just rush your like discovery of who you are and all of that. As I made mention in another episode, years of thinking I was bisexual, and the journey was still ongoing for me in terms of, actually I think I reflecting on certain bits and pieces, I think I'm pansexual. So it's not something that you're going to be rushed to. It's not something that should be, nor are you going to rush in terms of where you might lie sexuality wise. And that is all well and good. So keeping things a bit low key, for Imogen's sake, is probably for the best for the time being, until there is that I'd say there is that certainty in terms of where she might lie sexuality wise. So it is really, really great to see, and it's also really, really great to see Michael again. Like I said, we haven't seen him 5 full minutes, but I already love the vibe with him and Tori, and I already love his contribution. He's not even had 5 minutes of screen time. I'd say 2, like maybe pushing to 3, but we love him. So, but yeah. I just feel so bad for Elle in this episode. Absolutely felt so bad for her. So yeah, there was just so much anger going through my head when it came to the interviewer. It was such a cheap move to make, just tricking Elle to discuss her art, to discuss her social media. She's young and she's already hit 50k followers on Instagram. She's got a great future ahead of her. And you're putting her in the spotlight, especially when you got to consider, how notorious there are like transphobic people are, especially in 2024. And she's only she would be. She's a teenager at the end of the day, and you're really drilling these very, very heavy and sensitive subjects, when she is not the one bringing it up. If she wants to bring it up, then that's for her to not you. You invited her onto this show to talk about her art and her social media followings, not to basically echo your transphobic for the sentiments and all of that. Like, that's it though. Like, she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry if I made you feel comfortable. Let's talk about let's make things even worse." And I'm just glad that her parents were ready to just go all hell, basically, on the interview, because same absolute mood. Yeah. At the end of the day, it should have been Elle's choice if she wants to talk about her journey as a trans woman or not. Not the interviewer. Like, that's it though. Elle was so excited to talk about her art and her social media following. And instead she fell into a trap. Unbeknownst to her, of course. It's not like she could have seen this coming, because that's it though. When you are, hey, we want to talk about your social media following and all of that. That's it. We want to talk about your art. That's what you're expected to you know, you want to push your desires, your dreams and all of that. And this is a really, really amazing way of hopefully getting more, you know, traction and all of that. There is not that thought in the back of your mind, but now that interviewer has decided to absolutely manipulate things and pull such a low stunt on her, I wouldn't be surprised if for future prospects, for future interviews and all of that, there is going to be that worry in the back of Elle's mind because of the fact that this was her first opportunity to speak about her art and, you know, how her social media influence has reached out to so many people. And instead, they decided to tie it to, you know, was you know, the focus of your art, like why was the focus of your art focused on, you know, being trans, etc. Yeah, that's the thing that's going to be in the back of her mind now. If she gets more, well, when she gets more opportunities, it's not a matter of an if, because she, like I said, she's talented. But the thing is, though, you're really throwing her to the wolves because, as I've said, transphobic people are rife in 2024. And as I've mentioned with other subjects that have been addressed, especially in season 3, it's not something that gets fabricated, like Charlie's eating disorder and everything associated to that. Like Isaac and, you know, his struggles in terms of trying to, in terms of him being asexual and all of that. They don't sugarcoat this shit, and they won't I mean, that's the worry in terms of, like, any kind of hatred that Elle's gonna receive, because, like I said, it's not fabricated. There is a lot of, like, especially if you see social media and all of that, there is a lot of ugly transphobic comments on all of that. I mean, all, you know, transphobic comments are going to be that, but there are just some, it's just really, really rife, and it's just really insane. And there is no shame from these assholes to echo these transphobic thoughts. And you've got someone who is distributing this interview and all of that. And again, she's putting Elle in, she's throwing Elle to the wolves, basically, because, yeah, people will, like, the interviewer, she has a voice, and she's reaching out to the many, well, I don't know how much she gathers in terms of audience and all of that, but there will be people that are listening, and there will be people who are transphobic, and they will be so brainwashed with transphobic beliefs and all of that they will, you know, paint Elle as the villain for wanting to walk away, etc., for challenging the interviewer, because they'll think, oh, the interviewer was asking something innocent and all. No, she wasn't. She manipulated Elle in terms of discussing art and discussing social media by sugarcoating the real reasoning to why Elle was invited on for the interview. So, and she completely messed up, so yeah. And it was just really, really discomforting, because you could see Elle and how discomforted she was, as well as the fact that you're really putting this, she's still a child at the end of the day, and you're really wanting to drill her about something that she didn't even initiate on. If, like I said, if she wanted to talk about it, she would do so. But you invited her to talk about her art and her online influence. So stick to that and don't bullshit her by saying, "Ha, we surprised you," essentially. So, yeah. It is just, it was just disgusting. And I am glad, I really did love Elle's comment about, trans people are not a debate, because that's exactly it. They are not a debate at the end of the day. They are human, just like everyone else. And it's very, very impactful, like I said, with present day scenarios, with social media and how, like I said, how rife the hatred, the unnecessary hatred is. So, for all the things to hate in this world, there are some people who make that their number one priority and all of that. And it's just baffling. It's just something I cannot grasp whatsoever. But then again, I'm not someone who is vile and all of that. And yeah. So, but I am, like I said, I am really, really glad that her parents were ready to just go. They were ready to go nuclear. I don't blame, because if my child was trans and they were in the same position, I would be in prison basically, just because I would have applied the Stone Cold Stunner or some shit like that, because I would just not have that. Yeah, they were ready to go to war. So would I basically. And I just felt so sad for Tao as well, because of course he was completely silent, but I think it was more like it wasn't anything to do with, oh, he doesn't care or anything like that. It's more so to do with the fact that he's hurting for Elle. He knows that this is so massive for Elle, and he knows that Elle got invited to talk about the things she's, very, very passionate about in terms of her, future prospects of, art and maybe getting a social following, etc. And he's just really, really sad and heartbroken that she just got baited. And he's all like me. Is worried about the fact that any other interviews, there's going to be this voice in the back of her mind that's going to worry about the first interview, because that is going to be a fit. Because that's it though. It's not like transphobia is something minute. It is sadly rampant, and I might have said that wrong. Rampant. You get the idea. And you just worry, you just have that worry that, well, if this interviewer, was just very, very hateful and decided to just bait me like that, then, what's to stop future interviewers? And it can have a real knock on, not just confidence in terms of appearing on future interviews, but in terms of your, wanting to publicize your art and all of that. So, yeah, but, it was a really, really good episode. So, yeah, like I said, there was some good moments, but of course there was some very heavy and very, very angry moments as well. And your heart just broke for Elle, really, so. But, yeah, a great episode, and I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!